Today, I've got a special guest with me, Davies from AgUnity. I just thought it would be a great idea to interview successful people with interesting ideas and understand their insights that they have brought along their journey. So welcome, David. Would you like to just give me a quick little intro about yourself and your company and a little bit about your background?
Yeah, sure. Look, so AgUnity creates, we basically make a smartphone that is useful and relevant to the very lowest income developing world farmers in the world. So we do what Apple and iPhone did for us 10 years ago by giving them a phone. And at the end of the day, it's really simple. It records their transactions. It does what they do on an everyday basis. And that makes it relevant and useful. And we've had some really good successes, like in New Guinea and Kenya. We've tripled the farmers' income in a single season.
Wow.
Well, we didn't really do it. We gave them a phone, and then they were able to cooperate and trust each other more. And because they did that, they earned a lot more. And so we're now rolling this out all over the world and working with major NGOs and organizations like Fair Trade International to improve food supply chains in the developing world.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So looks like I have 15 questions. I just wanted to run through these 15 questions. The first question I have for you is, tell us about your first job. What was your first job?
Well, so technically it was picking fruit. So I grew up in a wheat and sheep farm in South Australia. So, the first jobs I ever did was picking apricots and oranges. But my first real job was doing financial modeling.
Number two, what was the biggest career lesson that you have learned?
Oh, the biggest lesson in your career is you got to understand the problem that you're solving. This is applied across all types of things. So many people are working on something that they think is right without really understanding the root cause of what it's saying. And so, if you want to succeed at anything, the key is to understand the root cause.
I like it. How did you get into this role?
Absolute accident. So that same co-founder, John, so my background was big banking. I'd worked at Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers, and then I was a global head at Standard Chartered. And I'd set up a separate company that did cost accounting for banks. So it's a very boring thing, but we allocated about $100 million worth of costs a year. So it was pretty important. And we sold off that company. John was the lawyer in my company. We started working on a crypto ledger technology for banking. And I got invited to a conference in London, couldn't go, sent John. He turns up bags in hand on the Friday, gets his pass, and there's a hackathon on the weekend. So John, being John, enters the hackathon, calls me up and says, hey, there's a prize from Singularity University. We have to come up with the biggest ever idea to win this. Yeah. And that was AgUnity. And it turns out Gates Foundation were there, and the rest is history. Wow. So it just happened. We shelved this other technology, which we eventually used last year. We basically got swept up in the storm of helping developing world farmers, so to speak.
I like it. And I think it's a great idea. Oh, this is a good one. What's the greatest professional achievement you've had?
Oh, that's probably when I was at Goldman Sachs. I'd actually had a company in Japan before that. My company in Japan, we built a middleware product in the first iMode phones. The Japan had web browsing phones before anyone else, and we built a solution. And that company got acquired, and I was having a great time snowboarding and stuff. And then a friend from Goldman used to be one of our clients, and the head of infrastructure from Goldman offered me a contract to run a team, and I said, no, I'll just do it myself. So I basically made a one-man team, and I built a little bit of technology. And I say a little bit, but Goldman is still using it. They call it technology at my desk, and that same code still exists. And I won the Goldman Nexus Award, which is their Global Innovation Award.
What skills do you possess that separates you from others? Your role, because there might be people out there that say, oh my God, that would be fantastic to be a CEO of a startup company, great idea that's booming. Not everybody can obviously be a CEO, right? And you've got, a wide team. You might have people out in the field. You might have social media, digital marketing people. They're all going to possess different skills. What are the skills that I guess that you're bringing to the table and in your particular role in that company?
Oh, you need to have a wild vision. Like being a CEO is all about having the vision, and telling it compellingly, so that people in your team follow you. They all agree, and everyone marches together.
Yeah.
So being a CEO,
yeah,
to be honest, being a CEO sucks.
Why does it suck?
All the pressure, all the responsibility comes on you, and there's 50 people want to speak to you every day, and there's a whole lot of stuff that I really wish I didn't do. I'm introverted, so I'd love to just be at home coding, but that part of being a CEO sucks. But if you want to really achieve something, you've just got to be the leader. You've got to be the one that says, look, we can help thousands, millions of people, and you've got to believe that from your heart, and then you've got to convey that to your investors, to your supporters, to your partners, but most importantly to your own team.
What is it that you love about your work? What is it that you love about your role?
Oh, we actually make a point, and we can't do that now, but normally we get into the field with the farmers because it's essential to do what they need. So we get out into the field, we see the farmers, and so we see on a monthly basis that we're changing people's lives, and who wouldn't love that?
I put here as well, like, what's your particular passion? You mentioned before that you if you had your choice, you might be at home coding. Is that what's the?
Yeah, look, I'm creative. That comes from the Goldman experience and what I did. Like I like changing things. I looking at things that are broken and making them better, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I would be perfectly happy doing that by myself. But what we need and what this venture needs is someone to get out there at World Food Program events and inspire audiences and get more people as partners, and that's what I can do. So that's what I do. Which
leads me to, what's the big goal? What's the goal?
Oh, look, we want to be the global platform for the bottom of the market.
But do you must have some type of metrics? Do you look at sort of transactions for the year, countries that you're covering in the world?
We're very, very simple in terms of our metrics. We look at locations because you have to get a foothold in a country. So getting the foothold started, that's key.
Yep.
And the number of farmers that are on a particular project and seeing that that's growing.
The next one I've got here is tell me something that nobody knows about the reality of being in your role.
Oh, the reality.
Is it fine dining and Hilton hotels? And is it?
So my wife works in luxury hotels, and she goes on business trips where she stays in $1,000 a night hotels. I get the absolute opposite of this.
Right.
Occasionally, events where it's good, but I spend a lot of time in the field with farmers, and so frequently staying where a mosquito net's a luxury.
What are some of the characteristics or skills that you look at when you're hiring a variety of people for AgUnity?
Yeah, I'm even when I was at the big banks, I used to get hammered on this. I don't look at skills. I look at problem-solving ability. So a person that can think out of the box. But in our line of work, we mostly look for motivation, like a person that wants to be part of what we're doing because they believe in the bigger mission.
I've put here, if you had or have a child, would you influence them into your industry?
Yeah, my son actually does videos for us occasionally. He's been out a number of times when I've been videoing him.
Who helped you in your career? Either professionally or personally. Sorry.
The number one would be Neville Wood, the Chief Strategy Officer I work for.
If you went in another career direction, what would that be?
Well, this is another career direction. I mean, I come from technology background, and I spent 10 years in pretty high levels in investment banking.
Yep.
And so this is really the shift. And so after doing AgUnity, I can't imagine doing anything else, to be honest.
I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. So you found the sweet spot. That's it.
Well, we have.
Fantastic. Well, look, I just want to say thank you very much for your time, David. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and thanks and take care.